Welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, April the 2nd, 2022. It is Season 16, Episode 11. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Let me pot your mic up a little bit higher than that. There we go. Welcome into the show. If you would like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. You can also find us on Twitch, Discord, everywhere. You can email us, everyone at ingamechat.net. You can go to our website just to get all the links to get in touch with us, ingamechat.net. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll be able to find, all the different things that'll to get ways to get in touch with us. Twitter, Facebook. Like I said, we're streaming on Twitch right now, twitch.tv. You can find us there, joining the chat room live while we broadcast. So anyway, welcome to the show. Hi, RJ.
Hey.
It's been 2 weeks since we've done it. Let me clap this thing real quick. I meant to check on something because I was reading. I've been doing some reading as far as audio stuff is concerned. Mm-hmm. Because I was trying to find another headset for my PC for gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And something that we found out, so like what I use at the house is their Turtle Beach Air Force DPX21 or something like that. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Turtle Beach doesn't make them anymore. And I don't know when I got these. I have had them for years. And years and years and years and years.
Yeah,
and
most likely they're going to be discontinued.
They are. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah, about 2 years before it probably gets taken off the shelf or something like that. I don't know what that's about.
The aspect of it that I like is that I can hear myself in the headphones. And when the pair that I had eventually broke, I was using other headphones. I used Wendy's headphones, which I had gotten her as a gift, and I said, well, let me try those, and they worked, but I didn't get that feedback into I couldn't hear myself.
Right.
It honestly sounded like I could hear everybody else, but every time I talked, it sounded like how it sounds if you close your ears and try to speak. It's muffled. It's like you can hear yourself talk, but it's outside, like you're standing on another side of a wall, and you can hear yourself talk.
Yeah.
That's apparently par for the course in headsets on PCs and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's apparently just the way it is, because I remember Wendy and I were trying to figure this out, and so we were doing a raid, and this is going back years and years and years, again, because I was able to find a replacement set, I think on eBay or a secondhand seller on Amazon or something like that, and was able to get another pair. But I was talking to our raid group, and I said, are any of you guys, first off, do any of you use Turtle Beach? And none of them had Turtle Beach. And then I said, okay, that's fine. Do any of you have headsets that feed back into your earpiece? To where you can hear yourself talk. Nope, nobody had that either. I said, "Man, is it just this brand? Is it a Turtle Beach brand? Is it just this particular headset? What is causing it?" I know Random, who is Vince, who was one of the guys who was in our clan and who was doing that. Once we got done with the raid stuff, he and I popped into private chat, and he's like, "Okay, go to your settings, do this, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Nope, that's not working. That's not working." We eventually found where you could turn on the listen to this device and then have that feedback into the device that you have going into your headset, where you can hear it. It was similar, but not quite the same. There was a delay. And so I could hear myself say something just a few seconds after I'd said it.
Yeah.
And
which is a little more annoying than having the muffled thing. Yeah.
It was not what I wanted. It was not there.
Yeah.
And so I said, that's close, but that's not it. That's not it. Anyway.
I never did that with my headset. I think mine's just the Atrix one. It just slips into the PS4 controller. I don't hear myself talk, but I know what I said. So,
see, that's the other thing. I can't remember if when we used to play Destiny and stuff, if I had a headset that fed back in. I don't think I ever did. But I also think that what I was using wasn't something that had noise cancellation on it. It was just like a janky old headset you would use for whatever back then.
Yeah.
I know when I got those PlayStation Gold headsets, whenever they would Bluetooth or they would sync wirelessly,
right?
Those were good. I don't know that I could hear myself talking them, but those were really good.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I've been so used to the Turtle Beach that I have now that I just can't remember. Anyway, we were doing research and I was watching reviews. We found out that it is a feature on some headsets, mostly Turtle Beach. I didn't find it on any other headsets, and I didn't really do too much digging.
Right.
But it's a feature called mic monitoring that is built into the device itself. Mic monitoring is something that you can do on your PC, but it has that delay. It's not as close to when you're saying it, and so it's mic monitoring thing, and that's what I'm looking for. Basically, I'm just trying to find it so that if this pair that I have breaks, I can just find another pair that is probably newer and just use that. Because the prices on those that I have that aren't being made anymore just continue to go up.
Yeah.
They're like $200 now.
Yeah.
If you want to buy them new, it's around $200. I think new, I may have paid $80 at the time, and then when I bought them refurbed or secondhand or whatever, when I had to replace them, it was another $80 at that point.
Yeah,
and now they've gone up to about $200.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they're going to break on me. I'm just nothing lasts, so I'm prepared for them to at some point die.
Yeah.
But I just want to know that I can get what I can get without having to. Go look at eBay or go look at the secondhand sellers on Amazon or something.
I think the highest I ever paid for headphones was around $85, and it was a Turtle Beach. It was a Turtle Beach for the PS4 that also went for PC and any other system that I could have on there.
Yeah,
but it still works fine. But there was a whole lot of things you had to hook up, like hook this to the back of the system, hook this to the front of the system, hook this adapter to the front, and then hook the wire to that, and then it'll work fine.
Yeah. Did it have? Do you remember what those were?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of it. All I know is it was Turtle Beach, and it was for the PS4, and it had a bunch of blue on that thing.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it and check. But the one that I'm using now is something I just picked up from GameStop. It was like $25, and it's the easiest hookup I got. I just hook it up to the port on the underside of my PS4 controller.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Oh yeah.
And it's been working fine for me. And seeing as how I don't use headphones much in my gaming. My headphones tend to last a good little while. I mean, the one I got for my PC is one that was for the Xbox and PC. It's a very, very much discontinued title now. But I've been using that, and it still works. So, but I couldn't see myself picking up a headset for the triple digits, $200, $150, something like that. I couldn't do that. But outside of that, I know the tech is there. I don't really know the difference, or what is the difference really between the headset that's in the 200s and a headset in the 50s or 80s. I mean, what's the real difference other than the size of the the 50 millimeter speakers or headset or whatever?
I'm not even looking for audio quality. You know, I'm looking strictly. Does it have mic monitoring? Can I hear that? That's all that I care about when I'm searching for these.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about this in a moment. That's cool. Yeah, just so looking for headsets. I've ordered two. I ordered two. They should be here tomorrow. I found it's Rocat or Roccat or ROCCAT is a brand. But it's also a brand that's like under Turtle Beach.
Let's see, Rocat, and I see Clickhammer, Cone Pro, Swarm, keyboard, things like that. Remember the name of it?
Yeah. Oh, it was it's ELO, like Electric Light Orchestra. It's the Rocat ELO 7.1 USB wire. I don't know. Something like that. Oh,
there's too many names for this thing.
Oh, there's far too many names for this thing.
Let's see, Rocat ELO 7.1 Air Wireless Surround Sound RGB Gaming Headset.
Yeah. That's the one. That is the one.
Let's see the features on this bad boy. Well, you got it from Amazon, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, not a bad price.
Well, when I watched a review, there is software with that thing that comes with an entire equalizer, and voice modulation and all sorts of stuff. You can have profiles set, so if I'm going to play Destiny, I'll go click the Destiny thing and it'll set my equalization the way I want it. Okay. If I go play something else that requires whatever, like Call of Duty or something, I don't know, it'll switch it to something else. If there's other people who game, they can click their profile and it'll all put it the way it needs to be put. It's it's really, really nice. The software that I saw for that. Let's see, mic monitoring usually or generally would be on the mixer or output side, software side. Yeah, this is Nabokov fan in the chat room talking about that. Lethal Migraine says, I rarely use headsets, but I have this one. Super comfortable, works really well. HyperX, yeah, I have the HyperX Cloud Alpha 2, maybe, something like that. I got that for Wendy, and it's worked out quite well for her, but when I plug it into my PC, I get nothing. The mic shows that it works, but I cannot get audio coming into my headset.
Yeah, I'm looking at the questions about this thing. It says, can I use this on console? PS4, yes. Xbox, no.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I don't know. It comes with an adapter that splits, so you have mic and headset audio type stuff. And if I don't use that adapter, it'll work. But only one part. Either the mic will work or the headset will work. Not both at the same time. When I do the split and put it in, it registers, it shows, I select it, and the mic selection. And again, I can't hear myself because it doesn't have mic monitoring, but I can see the levels move when I talk. But I get no audio coming into the headset there. It's a very, very strange thing. I don't know why. I take it over to her computer, which is my old computer, plug it in, works fine. I look for drivers. Apparently HyperX doesn't do software for it's plug and play.
Yeah.
You know, just
you get what you get.
Yeah, you just well, you get what you get. You pay quite a bit for them. They were about the same price of those Rocats that I bought, that I got from Best Buy. But you help out with Game Hounds, AC Wraith, because maybe I'm wrong. I think I know somebody from Game Hounds. Edie, I think. If that's her, I don't know. It's gone to E3 plenty of times, and her and her husband have been there, and PAX as well, I think. I thought it was Game Hounds that they did, but I don't know. Yeah, Edie. Ha ha ha, yes. I know her. She's great. Yep. Let's see. May or may not. Let's see. I'm reading. The chat room is just throwing out so much stuff here. I got the Microsoft wireless Xbox headset. They are pretty good for the price. Yeah, they are. I'm not big on wireless for my PC gaming stuff. Wireless for my console gaming, sure. I don't do extended sessions on console very much.
For me, I'm not that far from my console too much, so the wires usually go through. And just like I said, the one that hooks up to my controller, I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. Nabokov says may or may not also be a feature tied to software or Bluetooth. Thar 6, you can pair them with two Bluetooth devices, like my phone, the Series X. Only problem is I fire them up to listen to music on my phone. It starts the console also. Which one was it? It was either the Turtle Beach or the Rocat. I was watching a review of those where you could plug it into it came with a device, which mine does not come with that device. It's a amp or something. I don't know what it is. Some other, like a dongle. And so many plugs go into that thing, but it'll Bluetooth to your phone, and you can actually take calls while you're playing your games. So if your call comes in, or if you want to look something up on your phone through YouTube rather than on your PC, you can do that. You'll hear the audio.
Okay.
It'll mix in the audio with whatever it is you're doing, and whatever's on your phone will mix in. If somebody calls in, you can take that call. They'll only hear you, but you'll hear the game and the conversation of whoever's called you.
Mm-hmm.
Would I ever do that? No.
No.
I cannot have those mixed in.
Because I can imagine the response to something happening in game going through to your phone, and then you have to explain what's going on to the person who called you.
Yeah. Drunk Degenerate says, I think those HyperX headsets might need a driver update that you can apply when the USB part is plugged in. At least that was something I had to deal with when getting mine to work. So when I was doing the troubleshooting on those, Windows 10 was like, hey, can we update your drivers? And I was like, go right ahead. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work. Did not work.
Great.
So, which is fine. I'm not in any kind of bad situation here. I'm just looking at something that I can find that's as long as it's not that specific pair of headphones.
Yeah.
The Turtle Beach Air Force DPX21, blah, blah, blah.
The discontinued ones.
As long as it's not just in those, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because they're going to run out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is while I was watching reviews about this stuff, the guy was talking about, hey, if you're going to stream, because he was showing the software for the Rocat stuff.
Right.
You could tell it what your voice output would be if it wants to go into 48 or 48 or 44.1, I think. And it said, be careful, because if you use some streaming devices, if you're going in at 48, but the streaming is only capturing in 41 or 44.1, then you're going to have some possible audio desync issues, or the other way around. I can't remember which way it was.
Something's going to be off.
Right. It's just that you need to make sure that whatever your voice output is the same as whatever is being captured on your stream, pointing to the camera, whatever's being captured on your stream. And that may be the situation of why we have this desync thing. Mm-hmm. That took me 22 minutes to get to that point. Because I said, hey, we were looking at something. Remember? Mm-hmm. That's how I started the conversation. Yeah. Hey, we were looking at something. And that's where I ended up.
Mm-hmm.
God, help me. Oh, get my mind just stick to the one thing and don't deviate. Man. Hey, RJ, what did you play this week? These past 2 weeks?
I've been playing nothing but Elden Ring.
I bet you have, man.
In fact, this morning...
James is playing it, too. I was playing on my PC on Destiny, and I'd see a little... James, or whatever his Steam name is, Elden Ring. It was like, he's playing on PC. Mm-hmm. He's playing him some Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was playing that. In fact, this morning I was playing with Josh.
Yeah?
This morning he helped me get through helped me with some items and helped me find out where to go, basically. So I was at a point where I was getting close to getting stuck because I didn't know exactly where to go in this game.
Yeah.
Typical Souls games are pretty much linear. You're just going to run to your locations on foot. You're not going to teleport much unless it's through a bonfire. Mm-hmm. But with having Torrent with you, your spectral steed, you can go anywhere and everywhere.
Steed.
Yeah, you can go anywhere and everywhere, all over the map. So you're going to go into places that you're not.
Is the horse's name is Torrent?
Torrent.
Okay.
It's lit. Torrent. Torrent.
Interesting.
Torrent.
All
We
right.
all know the Torrent. We all know and love.
I know, exactly
Yes,
right?
Exactly. But so
does it have an in-game explanation as to why the horse's name is Torrent?
no, I haven't seen it yet, and no
Okay.
one's. I haven't
Perfectly
don't know any
fine. I
lore
was
that
just
says
curious.
why. But the horse is it's not even a horse really. It's like a big mountain goat.
Yeah.
But his name is Torrent.
Torrent.
Yeah. So getting on Torrent, running all over the map, you're going to go in places you don't belong to, because there have been spots I've been to where a boss can hit me and I can survive. But there are areas where I go to where the rank and file of an area, one hit from them and I'm dead. So So it's been a lot of exploring the map and unlocking things here and there.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to a point where I took out two of the main bosses, Godric and Lyanna, the Moon Witch. I took both of them out, and I really didn't know where to go at that point. So after a lot of wandering, I finally got to Radan, Scorcher Radan.
Is this a place or an enemy?
No, this is an enemy. This is an
Okay.
enemy. And he is key to finding an area that will let you grind for runes very efficiently, right? So I wanted to get to him. Finally got to him. In the process, I found out that I messed up part of a quest line in the game. But as I said before, the first playthrough of any Souls game, this is where you make your mistakes, where you screw up things, and in your second playthrough, you make amends for it. You fix it up afterwards, right? So made that mistake. I'll go fix it later in New Game Plus. I get to Radan, and it is a huge, huge area that you have to go through, and it fits because the guy that you're fighting is huge as well. And
Every boss you fight in that thing is massive.
Not really, but some are just ridiculously huge, and this guy's one of them. Josh was telling me the lore behind the character, because when you see Radan, this guy is like monstrously huge, big armored, big bulky juggernaut looking thing, right? And he's riding a horse.
Which is also massive.
No.
Oh, it's regular size?
It's about the size of Torrent.
Wow.
So this dude is like literally drifting across the area, sliding left and right, going around the area, right? And then Josh was telling me the lore about that. The reason this guy has gravity well powers, to spare his horse. Because as he was getting this disease with scarlet rot that he got from fighting Michaela, who is a problem, I'm told, by the way. Michaela is a boss you have to fight later on in the game, and she is a problem.
Yeah.
A real problem. So that's much later. That's much later in the game. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's going to be the hardest boss in the game. She is. But according to the lore, those two fought to a standstill. But in the process, Radan got scarlet rot from her, and it drove him mad. But like I said, he got those gravity powers to spare his horse, because he's floating above. He's floating above the horse, and the horse is just along for the ride.
So he's just he's just barely above the horse. Okay.
So it looks like he's riding. He looks like this big juggernaut riding this itty bitty horse. So you think he's the strongest horse in the world, or he's got some type of powers that's helping him do so.
Elden Ring is just an amazing game. I haven't played it,
Yeah.
but it's just an amazing thing. I've heard people talk to me about Elden Ring who don't play video games, but they ask me about Elden Ring, and the fact that it is doing so well. And oddly, I don't chalk that up. It's odd. It's like, why this, of all games that FromSoft has done, why this one? Why didn't it happen with Demon Souls or Dark? And it did at that time, but not in this kind of capacity. No,
I want to say it's because it's easily accessible. You can do a lot more in this game. I think what they did was they took some of the best elements of the games and put them all together in one.
Yeah, I can't relate to that, because I have played Bloodborne a little bit, and I have played Dark Souls or Demon Souls. I can't remember. It was on PC.
I think this game is is a lot more forgiving than all the other Souls titles. I'll give you an example. Stamina is everything in your Souls games. This is what you need to block. This is what you need to run. This is what you need to do things. Actually do things in the game. You need stamina. And in Elden Ring, stamina is very forgiving. You don't drain stamina unless you're in a battle. In all the other Souls games, you would drain stamina just by running around. You'd have to walk everywhere. You'd have to be patient to get from point A to point B. Because if you try to run all the way there, you'd be out of stamina before you get to where you're going. And when you get there, you got no stamina for the fight that comes up.
So you're telling me this, but that doesn't feel like that's the only thing.
Oh, there's more. There's more in there like that. I'm just giving you an example.
Or it can't be just stamina that has made this approachable to everybody else.
Yeah, just being more forgiving. It's difficult, but it's not punishing. If that makes sense. There's some things in the Souls game previously that is just going to punish you over and over again. That'll make you break and throw your controller and give up and go to something else. Yeah. And some people just persevere and keep going through it and get to the end. That's the allure. That's the allure of a Souls game. But in this case, the difficulty's still there, but it's a little more forgiving. It's not as punishing. You still have the belief that you can still do it. If I'm getting the point across that way.
I'll eventually try it, whether I borrow your copy or I get it on some kind of massive discount. I'll eventually get around to it and give it a shot.
Yeah.
I can't not try. Again, that's the situation, right? Where the zeitgeist says, "Oh man, I'm loving playing this game," and you look at it and you're like, that doesn't look like a game I'm going to enjoy. I've been fooled before, but most of the time, my gut instinct on this is dead on. I am not going to enjoy playing this.
Yeah,
and a lot of times I'll give in to the peer pressure, as it were. It's not, but I would give in to that and say, okay, let's see what all this is about. And I'd get in there and I'd realize, well, should have listened to my gut. This is not my type of game. This ain't for me. When a Final Fantasy came out and everybody was talking about that, or not World of Warcraft, but Diablo and a couple of others, is it's the thing. Here, go play it, and I would, and I was like, yep. Should have listened to myself. That's not for me. Now there were times when I love hearing this thing saying, yeah, you're not going to like that, and I go play, and it's like, oh my god, this is great. That's fantastic. Feels like you've just discovered something new. Like you've just unearthed something no one else has discovered, even though they have, and that's the reason you went to play it. But Elden Ring feels like Elden Ring is hard. Not hard game, but it's a hard one to not play. Like I want to, but that voice is still telling me, "No, man, you're not gonna like it. You're not." Stop. I realize you're getting pulled in by this, and that's fine because it always happens this way. But hey, you're not gonna like this. And that's not to say that the game is not good. Like I said, I have heard more about this game from people who...
It's a Souls game.
Yeah.
It's a Souls game, so you know what you're getting into from the get-go.
Well, yeah, you do, except for everybody else that isn't familiar with games but is talking about this game. Some of them don't know what they're going to get into on this. And I wonder what the draw is, Why this one draw them in and not... Bloodborne, not Sekiro, right?
Sekiro, yeah.
Sekiro. Why not that one? Why not any of those others? I don't know, and something to think about. But we're at the bottom of the hour here, and all you did was play Elden Ring. So
all I did was play Elden Ring. That's right.
No more going into that. You know that all I did was play Destiny. No more going into that, and some more Bioshock, playing that as well. But having fun with that. And I'm trying to think if I've been playing anything else. Changing Tides or Chasing Tides, I think, something like that, on Xbox Game Pass. That's gotten better for me. I've enjoyed that a lot. I was able to go back and get through a lot of it. I've still got some more to go, but that's been a nice little relaxing game to play. What? Scott, play the game as you wish, but promise me not to buy items, runes from third-party sites. I don't know what that means.
Oh, some people buy items and things to help themselves level up and things of that nature. Some people are duping their saves and selling.
Really?
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. But you can grind in the game and get the stuff. So I guess some folks want to hurry up and get their stuff, because there are some spots where you will grind. You will grind and you will get lost, you will get to a point where you're stuck, maybe have frustration from not being able to do enough damage to an enemy or boss.
How many hours have you put into it?
90.
Wow. How well do you have a percentage complete, or do you know how far into it you are? Do you have any idea?
I'm basing it on my level. I'm only at level 58 right now. Typically, being with Josh, we're talking about that. Typically, you're not going to get to be able to take on the last boss of the games in the Soul series until you're like in the triple digits. So 120, 130, 160 around that area, and I'm at 58. And there's a whole bunch of area that I have to go through in the game as well. There's a whole bunch of side missions and main quests that I have to do as well.
Yeah,
things to discover.
Video Game Donkey, he did a video on Elden Ring, and I was watching that last night, and he talked about how massive that map is.
Yeah.
And not just the fact that it's the map is huge, but then apparently there's an underground to it.
Yes, there's
which is
underground
also
as well.
massive. There's secret places. which are also massive. And so
there's stuff on the map that looks like I should be able to go there. And you probably will. There are teleporters around the entire
he talked
area.
about the teleporters. It's like you be playing Elden Ring, then you get teleported to the other side of the map, and you look and you're like, oh my God, this place is huge.
Yeah.
Then you get teleported to the northern part of the map, and like, oh, it's massive. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And then he did. Interestingly enough, I learned more from watching that video than I did most any other. Mm-hmm. He talked about the XP that you get from some of the things that you kill.
Yeah.
And he talked about, like, here's this boss, and I got this much. Here's this other more difficult boss, and it's only like 100 more or less than, like just a small fraction.
Probably
of
some things you have to go through to take out some of the bosses. A lot of these bosses are optional.
Well, then he showed where he walked up on all these enemies sleeping and did some kind of magic spell thing, and they all died. And he showed I get more XP from killing this group of enemies the way that I do.
Did they happen to be skeletons?
Then killing that? No, they weren't skeletons. They were blobbish. They were these blobby things.
Mimics?
I don't know. He didn't say what they were.
Well, you saw the video though, right?
I saw the video. Yeah,
they were all like large black jelly beans.
I don't remember them being black, more bluish, but then again, maybe they were black. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before. The type of enemies in this game, a lot of them are rehashes, but some of them are brand new. So they have some imagination on some of these things. But I don't recall seeing those enemies.
But
before.
He talked about how he wiped all of those guys out in that one little thing, and then compared it to a massive boss that he killed, and then some other boss who can't even turn around. He's like stuck in position. He cannot whatever the thing is, it cannot turn. If you can get behind it, it'll never attack you.
Okay, well,
because it can't turn.
No,
at least according to him. Again, I have no idea, but
I've had bosses where I've taken and I've gotten 50,000 runes from it, and then I had another boss who healed itself repeatedly. Me and Josh took it down, and we got a little over 20,000 runes on that one. So yeah, it's some are worth the hunt, some are not.
Well, he talked about it. Yeah. He talked about it, giving it praise and saying I beat the game 4 times and was showing off that, but also saying that the game needs some work.
There's some glitches in there.
Mainly he talked about balance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there was a Ash, War of Ashes, whatever it was, a spirit that you could call. It's a mimic. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's a clone of yourself.
Yeah.
You give up 660 hit points, and you will make a mimic of yourself, and it will have all of your abilities and stats that you have equipped. But it goes ham on everything. it would, like, whatever Ashes of War that you had, like Spectral Lance, for example. Basically, you just throw a Ghost Lance, right?
Yeah.
The mimic doesn't have the limitation of technique points that you do. So it could just go spear over and over again. It would just go nuts with the thing. And of course, because that's the most dangerous thing in the room, the boss would all aggro your mimic, and you could just do whatever you wanted to in the process. Now that was in the first part of the game. Now they nerfed it to where they basically told the mimic to calm down, so it doesn't do it as much as it used to. But there's probably video of it on YouTube somewhere where the mimic would just go nuts with your special abilities.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you finally got around to playing it too. Yeah. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, if Chris is still outside, I'll get him in here to explain what this is. Chris has made this for Wendy and I. I don't know if he made 2 of them or just one. It's basically, I think the Switch will fit in there, like the Nintendo Switch will fit in there, but also the phone will fit in there. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can get him in here and he can explain how this whole thing works. But we do have a lot to talk about, so I don't want to waste too much time doing that. That's why I kind of brushed through what I played so far. Because, and then again, you know what I played. It's the same thing. You know, it's Pinky in the Brain. What are we going to do tonight? Same thing we do every night. Play Destiny. So we're going to talk about that. Well, we're going to talk about, there's so many things. Mostly this week. We really didn't miss anything the week before. It was this week leading up. We had 3 things just boom, 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 back to back to back that I kind of want to talk about. So we are going to get to those here in just a bit. Music here from Crusader Kings 3. And I bring that up because it is released. I think it's been out for a while now, but it got a console release. And if you have not seen the vignette of commercials with T-Pain playing Crusader Kings 3, go look those up on YouTube and watch them. They are hilarious, and it's the only way I have any interest in this game at all. It's because of T-Pain. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Agent Interceptor. The track is called The Juggernaut. Yeah, I don't know. I got an email about this thing. It looks mobile-ish, mobile game-ish type thing. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't want to knock it down because I really haven't looked at it too much to know anything. It's a car that can also fly, drive, and become a boat. Apparently, very Spy Hunter-esque.
I was about to say Mask.
That too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the show. So Chris, who normally calls us every weekend, came by today and dropped this thing off. If you can see this here, this is we were trying to figure out a name. It is a stand.
Yeah, homemade stand for setting something on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, like your phone. Like your Switch will fit in here, right? Yeah. See, and you can also put your phone in it just like that if you want to get that view as well. So, yeah, that's really, really cool.
And there's no glue on that. It's all pressure from the pieces.
I was wondering because I was like, man, that's in there real tight, but no.
Yeah, don't try to take it apart because you may break it. Because my personal one of the ones I tried to remove one of the joints and it broke. And I had to recut out the piece to replace it.
Is this balsa wood? What is this?
Yes.
Balsa wood?
It's like 5 millimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's balsa wood or something. It's a cheap fake wood. It's got a thin veneer of that finish on the top and bottom of the wood.
Oops, sorry.
Yep. But it's strong enough to hold all types of stuff on that thing.
Yeah, it's real strong.
Come here, let's put you to the test. Man, look at that.
That's precision cutting right there.
Well, they can't see it.
Yeah, precision cutting that makes things fit in there tight like that. Yeah.
See, got the old iPad in there. Look at that.
I guess I got my grandfather's carpentry in my blood and veins.
Man, and you can do it that way too. Look at that.
And that pattern from that whole thing was done from one sheet of standard paper, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper was the whole pattern that took up. And just used a scroll saw, and after I had done the pattern, it only took me about maybe 20 or 30 minutes to cut out the whole thing and put it togetgether.
Well, dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very, very much.
You stand and keep it on the side. You put it on the side of your computer and be
no kidding.
Right then and there.
I could put the yeah. That's oh man, good ideas. Good ideas from Chris there. That's fantastic, dude. Thank you so much.
Oh,
what else did you bring there?
And it's a very expensive game for the Pioneer Laser Active.
I hate to ask, can you give? You don't have to give us the exact amount, but
I'll give you clues. I want to go ahead and pass it to you so you can get it on camera.
Yeah, it's more. It costs more than. Does it cost more than a current PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X?
Yes.
Good Lord, man. I don't want to touch this
are we
anymore.
still,
it's okay. It's not going to hurt.
Are we still in the triple digits?
I'll give you a clue.
No, he's holding up 4 fingers.
It's
there.
not triple digits. Okay,
This is not triple digits.
We're in the quads.
I'm holding it.
And that first figure with the tats and everything, that's 3 digits, and the price is not right. It's more than 3 digits.
Goodness.
So this is it. It is a game called Time Gal.
Time Gal.
Yeah, it's a game. So,
Yeah. Interactive movie game. Yeah.
You remember Dragon's Lair that was in the arcade?
Yeah.
Right.
It's very similar, same
Yeah.
type, but it's a different story.
Yeah, it's like I was saying earlier about if any anime fans out there remembers Lupin III, Castle of Cagliostro, they used that movie for another type of game like that. They tried to call it like Cliffhanger or Cliff Jumper or something like that, but they used the old anime title from the 80s to make that game, and that's like one of the ones they used for that Time Gal, 1985, right?
And I don't know if when Scott was holding it up to the camera, the back little picture was a note from from the seller's wife that she included, and she also folded an origami crane from paper.
Origami crane, yeah.
Yeah, it's only an inch high.
Mm-hmm. But it fit in there. Cool.
Yeah, she had that in there and everything, and they wrote me a nice letter and stuck it to the.
Where did you find that?
eBay.
Online?
eBay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, do I really want to spend this much? It's one of the holy grails that I'm pretty well satisfied for anything. The most expensive stuff for this system.
I don't know a thing about it, man. The
system this works on is called the Pioneer Laser Active. It's the only Laserdisc player out there in the world from the 1993 that plays video games as well. And there's what they call packs that insert into the bottom left corner. One was from Sega that you would insert in there, and you could play the Sega Genesis games, Sega CD, and the CD tray of the device.
Right.
And then the Laserdisc movie format games like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the NEC, which would have been the TurboGrafx or PC Engine at the time.
It had those little floppy disks, almost like floppy disk things. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the size of a credit card.
Yeah, that's the credit card size. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with those for the NEC. You stick that pack in there, and you're open up to the entire library of the PC Engine.
Yeah.
And such.
And one console did all that.
That one unit, depending on what pack you had stuck in there, you could play the entire library for Sega or NEC, depending on which one you had stuck in there.
Yeah, that's a lot of titles to go through for one console to do that for you. Yeah. My goodness. Mm-hmm. I don't remember that thing. Yeah, but I would think something like that would get more pub than it did, because I never heard about it at all.
No, I mean I
wasn't familiar with it.
I'm not. Yeah. I have no idea. I've never heard of number one that title. Number one the game, or number two the device you can play it on. Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand the concept of what it is and how it works. It's that Dragon's Lair Laserdisc game thing. I totally get that. I've just never heard of that title. Although the cover looks familiar, like I would have seen that looking when I was in like Blockbuster and looking at their anime selection. Mm-hmm. But is that based on an anime, or is that just completely made for the game?
I think it's anime based, but it's not based on a current anime. But it has the theme of
it's anime styled.
Yeah,
it's anime styled, but not off of a series actually.
Yeah. Man, that's boy, you.
Yeah, I decided. Well, I just want to come bring y'all the gift.
You have to make a bunch of these to make back that money for spending on that, or you probably have something you can sell that will kind of bring that back if you want. So what will you do with that?
I want to eventually play it, but for the most part, I've been stuck playing other things and.
Well, since you're here, what have you been playing?
Yeah, we ain't been playing much.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Forbidden West. Finally.
Forbidden West.
Okay, we were just talking about Forbidden West not getting its due because it was released a week ahead of Elden Ring, and Elden Ring just took...
It had the worst timing.
Mm-hmm.
Took the zeitgeist by storm.
Forbidden West came out on the 18th of February, and then, like you said, Destiny
hit on the 22nd, which was that Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now, it's Destiny, no big deal, whatever, although this happened to be, apparently, the best thing that Destiny has done in a very long time as far as story-wise and everything else, because it was getting rave reviews. And a lot of people were saying, hey, this Destiny thing, don't pass it up. You know, we know it's Destiny, but this is really good. And so not a lot of talk there. And then Elden Ring hits on Friday, and that's
a week after Forbidden West, Elden Ring comes out.
The most I hear about Forbidden West is, hey, Forbidden West got an update today. That's it. Not any more of like, hey, don't skip out on this. I mean, it got praise when it was released, but
it did.
Elden Ring has this lasting thing going on.
I mean, Forbidden West, a beautiful game, well structured. Everybody had rave reviews about it, and then a week later, something else comes up, and it just trumps it. Doesn't take away from what Forbidden West is, but just Elden Ring just blew up.
Yeah, Elden Ring was the bonfire, and then everything came out about it, and it was like throwing gas on the fire. It just took over everything out there.
Yeah.
It will be another game that I'll get to eventually.
I may as well, but who knows?
Yeah, I always say by the time I get to Zero Dawn, Forbidden West will probably be like half price by the time I get to it. I got so much of a backlog.
It'll be a
going to what I got to. Yeah,
it'll be the Game of the Year edition PlayStation Plus version.
Game of the Year legendary. All the DLC released with it in one package. Yeah, that time. Yeah,
that'd be the time to get into it.
Yeah, the perfect time to get into it.
Basically,
or they might do a compilation. Here's the Horizon Legacy or whatever. You have both games thrown in there at the same time.
So. Well, man, thanks for coming by and dropping this off. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's fantastic. It's going to come in handy. It's going to get use. I can tell you that now.
And 20 minutes it took you to make that.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes.
You got the tools, you got the equipment. No time at all. 20 minutes. Yeah, that's it. Goodness.
Yeah, the scroll saw it didn't take long at all. I mean, I just got down, sat down, started using it, and popped the pieces out one after the other.
Mm-hmm. So what are you going to put on that, Scott? You're going to put your phone, you're going to put your iPad, you're going to put, what else you're going to put on there?
Sounds like I might need to make two of them.
Yeah, right. You can put the Switch on here, if you want to do that. Anything, obviously, that has a screen and is not thicker than, the openings here.
Yeah, and that edge of the front there of that lip is made exactly where it will not cover up the edge of the screen of the Switch OLED version.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
no obstruction, so that's even better.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't know. I like the idea of the iPad. It kind of could serve as a second monitor if you're at your computer, or a third monitor, I suppose, if you've got the room for it. Because I've already got two monitors at the house. I could set this up and have a third sitting there.
I would say that for Discord or something like that, something on the side, and you can see it in your peripheral popping up.
This thing can help out a lot in a lot of ways in that regard. Yeah, no, didn't get some use out of this.
Good use.
This is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you again. I appreciate that. I love stuff like that.
Like I was talking to Wendy out there earlier
Look at that.
During the show. If you and RJ, Wendy, want to come out and see the collection sometime, when y'all have spare time, even on Sunday, of course, to let you know, if you wanted to wash your car, do so after you come to the house, because most of the road is still paved now, but there's a couple 100 feet of dirt road, and it's dry and dusty. So don't come with it with a wet car.
Yeah, hey, if you've been through pollen season, you know exactly what to look for in there. Yeah, dirt, dust everywhere. So yeah, we know that. We know about that already.
Wendy is gesturing that this is hers. So
already,
I'm already taking. I'm going to take my stuff off of it so as not to defile her.
She's giving you the look, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's
giving you the look.
Give me a look. She stood in that window and she directly made a point that is mine.
There's giving a look, and then there's giving the look.
Okay.
You know that look.
Yes, dear, it's yours. Mm-hmm. It's all yours.
Like Will Smith's wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's enough. Okay.
I mean, I'll come over there and smack you, but. No, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for waiting while we were doing the show. I had this thing on busy. You were probably calling or trying to get in touch with me, and I am so sorry.
Yeah, you had it busied out and you didn't realize, but she happened to come outside and didn't know who it was. It was Wendy at the moment, but we had a fun chat. And everything.
And I'm and thank you again so much, man. When we come back from in-game, or when we come back from this break here, we're going to talk about just subscription services. We'll just talk about subscription services. And the reason we'll talk about subscription services is because we just learned of 3 new ones that are getting added into our lives here in the next few months or weeks or ever how long it is. And some for games, some for systems, some for the Game Pass and stuff. So we're going to go over all that. And also we have E3 to talk about the cancellation of. So we're going to get into every little bit of that coming up in the next hour and going to jump right into it. Anyway, Chris, thanks again. Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next weekend.
Yep.
Of course. And here is music from Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Music from that game. I have not. I think this is just the main theme or whatever. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chats. Music from Marlo Briggs and the Mask of Death.
Sounds like a Tomb Raider clone.
I'm not sure.
Say it again.
Marlo Briggs.
Marlo
Briggs. And the Mask of Death.
Okay, let's see.
Not what you think, is it?
Action adventure, hack and slash video game.
Not with this music, put it that way. But yeah, welcome back. All right, so yeah, I don't really know where to begin on this. We'll just jump right into it and see. Just to go down, I don't want to go down the news because there's a lot there. The charity game bundles, 2 of them have now raised over $12 million for Ukraine relief. That would be Humble Bundle, and I want to say that other one, that Itch.io or whatever it was, that was like, here's 1,000 things for like $5 or whatever it was.
1,000 games for $5.
Gran Turismo has the lowest Metacritic user score of any Sony game ever. That was back because of the
online only thing.
The online only thing. When that went down and nobody could do anything with their game for like a day. Uncharted the film is now the 5th highest grossing video game movie of all time. That'll drop down to probably the 6th once Sonic 2 releases, which I think that's coming up this month.
I think so.
I think it's this month.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go right quick.
Yeah, I want to say that's this month. But it's not next week. Well, maybe it is. Next week or the week
April
after?
8th.
It's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, Ghostwire Tokyo. Were you interested in any of that in Ghostwire?
Yeah.
Tokyo?
Yeah, I was looking at videos and things like that. I got the
Does that not look like Doctor Strange the game?
Pretty much, yeah. With
Right?
instead of Mystic, pretty much we also say Mystic Magic, whatever. Mystical magic, curses and wards, things of that nature.
You're doing all these things with your hands. And shoom, shoom, shoom.
Yeah.
It's got and obviously I'm only picking, Doctor Strange for the popularity or whatever because that's what I know. But that's what it kind of reminded of. Every time I would watch gameplay videos, I'm like, this is like Doctor Strange the game. But it's got a lot of good scores. The only thing I've heard is that it's for its beauty and its open worldness and everything else, there's still like the city looks great. The whole streets and the city and everything else, the environments are fantastic. Some of the character designs are also creative, but not as varied. In other words, what they have is very creative in what they've got, but there's only so many of them.
Yeah. Is it a lot of copy and paste with slight variations, that type of thing?
Possibly, yeah. I really haven't played it. I really had no desire to look at it, but the more I watch the videos, the more I'm like, that might actually be okay to kind of play at a picking it up on a real Black Friday buy type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This game for me has something that it would be like, hey, $20, I'll do that. Mm-hmm. Not saying that it's a $20 game. I'm just saying for me to throw in the investment, $20, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll try it out for 20.
Yeah, it's like I think we've talked about it before. Some games you're not gonna be there day one.
Yeah,
because it's not gonna be worth your while for the cost.
Yeah, GameSpot gave him an 8 out of 10. Another one gave a 10 out of 10. VG247 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It goes on and on and on from there. So I always like to do the review roundups for some of the bigger games.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was delayed to 2023. We knew that was coming, or at least I thought we knew that was coming. Didn't feel like that was going to go. Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed until into next year. I didn't know that was on track for this year, but if it was, I could have told you it's going to get delayed, or at least I have that has a high probability of getting pushed back easily. What else do we have? The Halo TV show set a new viewership record for Paramount Plus. That's great. Haven't started watching it yet. Mm-hmm. It's episodic. I say episodic. It's week by week you get a new episode. I am not a fan of that at all anymore. Thank you for the binging, but it's just tough. It's one of those things where it's like when I get done with an episode, I want to watch another one. Mm-hmm. And like there's 2 episodes out now, so I could watch one and then say, hey, that was good. I want to watch another one and do that. But then it's like, then I got to wait a week for a single episode to come out. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I just need to keep myself occupied until all of them are out, and then I can just watch them in one go if I want to.
So far, I've been seeing the same thing that's been going on with all game-based or comic-based films and movies. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks are upset. The purists, they call purists, right? Who are upset about
I know where you're going.
Yeah. Purists who are upset with certain aspects that the show is taking. But as with all movies and things of that nature, just watch for yourself and take your own opinion.
Yeah, I have no at this point, and I'm sure you can find episodes in the past where I probably had some big deal about video game translations or the way they go from media to media. This is going to be a movie. Well, I hope they incorporate this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. If we get a movie or a TV show or something, like if we got Uncharted, right? It was not the casting I would have picked, and I still haven't seen it. So I don't even know if it was the story I would have told. I have no idea. But
I would say that I think the main thing for me in terms of game and comic translations, if you don't do too heavy a deviation from the source material, that's the thing that I'm looking for the most. If you start deviating way out of left field because this is your vision of what this thing should have been, we got a problem. Right. I'm not gonna like this at all.
Right.
But if you stay as close as you can to the source material while at the same time being entertaining, then we're good.
Right. If you had a Batman film and he could fly without the use of planes or something like that, because he's Batman, so he has the ability to fly.
Yeah.
That would be a deviation where I'm like, I would still be like, okay, let's see how you pull that off. Let's see what you do with that.
Would you be okay with that if they explained that this is an Elseworlds type thing, a different?
Well, they would have
Earth 14 or something.
Yeah, I don't say they would have to, but it would have to be some sort of explanation as to why that happens. But still, my whole point being is that if we get a film based on a game like this, I used Uncharted as an example. I'm more than welcoming of it, because if it does well, we'll get more and maybe get it right. If it bombs completely, oh well, give it some time, and they'll try again later on.
Yeah.
Possibly, maybe. If they don't, then that's okay. I still got the games, So I'm okay with the deviations. I was never a lore purist on Halo anyway, so I don't really care which way they go with it.
Now I'm trying to think how it would apply to me because I think I played Halo maybe twice. This is like get-togethers with friends or at parties and things of that nature. So I'm not too familiar with the lore really of the game. But a trip to YouTube or a search on the internet will fix that problem quick.
It will, and you really don't need it because if they're telling their own story, then you just need that. You just need to watch what they're telling you, and the gaps will be filled in because they've got to do that for people who don't know the game. I would think. I haven't watched any of this stuff, so.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, so let's see. Do we want to start with? Let's see. Xbox Game Pass is getting a family plan later this year. They plan to launch a 5-person option later this year. They're ready to announce and launch a family. According to the report, this new plan will work up for 4 additional people who live in the same country as the family plan owner. You don't have to live in the same house. You just have to live in the same country. I could share my Game Pass with you, but I could not share it with Josh.
Yeah.
I could share my Game Pass with Chris, but I could not with Motal. So, yeah, let's see. Members of the family plan will have full access to the entire Game Pass library. This plan will be far cheaper than buying 5 separate Game Pass subscriptions. Currently, it costs $15 a month for a single Game Pass plan. The actual pricing has not been reported. However, the reported family plan, which has not yet been confirmed by Microsoft, will be similar to options offered by Netflix and Disney+. According to Windows Central sources, this new plan will use Microsoft's existing family account system, which is used by Office 365. No specific date for a potential launch. This is something I'm sure we'll hear about at, I was going to say E3. We don't have E3 this year, but I can guarantee you that Microsoft will do a presentation. Sony might do one. EA has already said they're not doing one. So I'm not sure exactly. I think Ubisoft will probably do one as well. $50, $60 a month? I mean, Game Pass Ultimate for, $50, $60 a month. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe. You may be right. What would that be yearly? Ugh. See, you got to look at the year cost. I think right now a year of Game Pass is like $100, somewhere around there. So if you want to do a family plan, it's going to cost more than $100. But
so
how
15 times 5? The Backoff fan says 15 times 5.
Yeah, 15 times 5 and doing $50, $60 a month, that is cheap. But if you look at and maybe they won't offer a year account. Maybe they'll only offer a month-to-month subscription on this, not a year-to-year subscription. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out more and more as they unveil that. But I imagine this is something they're gearing up to say coming this holiday season. We're introducing the Xbox Game Pass family plan, or it'll be one where they say, right now the Xbox family Pass or Xbox Game Pass family plan is available, and go over the pricing. Yeah, I'm real curious. On that. Having said that, though, the other thing was Sony's subscription plan that they unveiled. They have merged PS Now and PS Plus into a 3-tier subscription service. You have PS Plus Essentials, which is exactly what we all have now with PS Plus. We'll have the Essentials. And let me see if I have the... PS Plus Essentials is the same as the service is today. 2 monthly downloadable games, online multiplayer access, game discounts, cloud storage, and it will cost the exact same. PS Plus Extra includes everything that we already have now, but adds a collection of 400 PS4 and PS5 games that can be downloaded. These games will include Spider-Man, Miles Morales, God of War, Returnal, Mortal Kombat 11, Death Stranding. More titles, including those from third-party developers, will be announced nearer the time. Additional titles will be added on a regular basis. PS Plus Extra will cost $100 a year.
Okay, and what we got now is $60 a year. So
yeah, or $15 a month.
No, go by year.
Huh? We're going to go by year? Okay.
Yeah, if you go that, just go by year. $100 a year, right?
Well, what are we paying right now for PS Plus
60
per year? $60. So $100, $40 more a year, and you get a bunch of different games to play, 400 PS4, PS5. Then we have the third tier, the PS Plus Premium tier. It includes everything that I've just mentioned before, but also adds classic games from the PS1, PS2, and PSP library.
So PS Now?
Basically, it's basically giving you PS Now. Time-limited game trials and PS3 and PS4 game streaming. That would be your PS Now stuff. The streaming.
How popular is PS Now? Because I've
no idea.
Because I've never given it any consideration.
I have never
at all.
paid attention to it. I had no desire to pay attention to it. It's the streaming part of it. So everything else that I mentioned, the 400 PS4 and PS5 games, those are not going to be streamed. Those are going to be games which you can download to your system and play. You don't have to stream them.
Yeah.
If you get to Premium, you're going to have classic games which can be downloaded or streamed from the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP. Then you'll have time-limited game trials. That would likely be new games. You get to play them for an hour or something like that. And then PS3 and PS4 game streaming will be available to you so that you don't have to download them. I've tried Microsoft's game streaming thing. It's okay. It ain't the best. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
This service, the Premium, will cost $120 a year.
40 to jump up from tier 1 to tier 2, 20 to go
So
from
it's
tier 2
60,
to tier 3.
yeah, I mean it's like paying for PS Plus twice.
Yeah. I'm fine with what I got now. And I'm not too I mean, it's a nice thing to have all those extra games available in the tier 2 slot, but nah. I don't know if I would pay $100 a year for that. It certainly would be better. It would be better paying $100 a year than $15 a month.
Yeah. Jim Ryan, the CEO of PlayStation, said that we're not going to put our first-party games onto the service the day it comes out, kind of like you have with Game Pass.
Game Pass, yeah.
You have the day one type stuff. He says that doing such a thing would result in less investment into its studios and could lead to lower quality games. Okay, Jim. I'm not denying you on that. I'm just saying that you have an example in your competitor, partner, whatever it is, your colleague or something. I don't know. I don't know if you look at Xbox as your competitor anymore, or at least I know publicly you don't, but you probably do.
We want you to buy our first-party games instead of streaming it through.
Instead of downloading and getting them free, we want you to buy those.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say.
See, that's the thing. If they had thrown that in there, if they had thrown, hey, first party or whatever you might say, we will have games available to download the day they're in stores, and you can. And if you have this service, you can download them. I say for free, but you're paying for the service. But point being is that if they had thrown that in there, this is just me thinking on this now. If they had thrown that in there, it's a better incentive than what they've got so far. I don't know that it would have. I don't know that it would have pushed me, because Sony doesn't have a lot of first-party titles releasing. They got a lot of partnerships where they've got some exclusivity deals,
right?
But they're not first-party titles. Ghostwire Tokyo is only on PC and PlayStation, and I think it's PC and PlayStation. It may just be PlayStation, but still, that's not a first-party studio or anything like that. It's just an exclusivity deal that they signed. Deathloop is the same thing. It's an exclusivity deal that they signed. So there's not a lot. I mean, what they do release first party is really, really good when they do. Like, you look at God of War and Last of Us, and Horizon is another one.
Yeah.
Even Elden Ring, that is not. That's not exclusive. I mean, it is exclusive console-wise. It's exclusive to Sony, but
you got PC.
Yeah, but not on PC or anything. So I don't know.
I mean, what they got now is not moving me. I mean, it might be enough to consider to think about. But what I got now, the $60 a year, and what I need from PlayStation Plus right now, I'm fine as is.
Yeah.
Besides, when it comes to like downloading and all that hard drive space you got to consider now.
Yeah, that's true.
Having all that file management, yeah, kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Let's see, $4.20 a month compared to $5. Sony has an outline from Xbox on how to do it, and they still just offer junk. Yeah, some people are just not on the Microsoft bus there. Yeah, part of this is rebranding PS Now, making their whole ecosystem a lot easier to understand. I fully expect them to tack on the Sony 4K streaming movie platform eventually. Sony 4K movie streaming platform? What do they have there? What is that? Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with Sony's 4K movie platform streaming thing. Or maybe I am, and I'm just not thinking of the right thing. As RJ can attest to, knowing that the game's available... Knowing what the games available will be when it's live and what titles you're going to get determined if it's worth it. If you get 3 or 4 games a year you actually care about but have access to 5 or 10 times that amount, the entire point is to get more games being played and to get more devs with more eyeballs, not to just overload the player like Steam. PS Plus has always been a nice little thing. I will always say I hate that online play is tied to it. And in most cases, co-op being online only and machine to play it versus playing it split screen now. It's part of their new Bravia stuff released. I have not heard of anything about that, Nabokov fan, the Sony 4K movie streaming platform.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. Or throw a link, which you just did. Thank you.
Yeah, but it is true about PS Plus. If you want to play online, it tells you religiously you got to be a PS Plus member to have online play. I'm trying to remember when that started to be a thing. Because it wasn't always like that.
No, Sony was the last holdout on that too. Because
because I think it had to be for Xbox. That was a talking point with Xbox Live. Xbox Silver wouldn't let you do it, but Xbox Gold would let you. Mm-hmm. And then PlayStation Plus came suit later on. Now, how long ago was that? That was a while back.
It's a while back, but I do remember when Sony was like, you can play our games online. You don't have to subscribe to it. And then eventually it shifted. Okay. Yep. You just follow, which is interesting to think about. Like Microsoft starts charging for online play, Sony doesn't.
Yeah,
but eventually they come around. Microsoft offers Game Pass and Sony doesn't, but eventually they come around.
Well, I think it was maybe easier to swallow because we were doing PlayStation Plus already beforehand. It wasn't a requirement.
Right. It didn't matter to us.
It didn't change how much we had. Didn't change how much we had to pay a month, but it just gave us access. It said you need access. Well, we were paying for it anyway, so I guess we didn't feel the impact of a higher price.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you need to get more years of PlayStation Plus. Now that we're talking about this,
I'm stocked up on my PlayStation Plus, which was an interesting thing too, because I thought, what does this mean for? I mean, does this? Nothing is going to change with what we're doing. It's not a situation where, hey, you've got so many of these, you've got so many years built up for PS Plus, we're going to convert those into our PS Plus Essentials or whatever it's going to be, and you're going to get all this stuff. Nope. It does, however, if you had PS Now. If you had PlayStation Now, it will convert into the premium or whatever, the upper tier of this PS Plus thing.
Top tier.
For no charge whatsoever.
Okay.
You'll just be automatically thrown in there for the top tier if you're a PS Now subscriber. So, yeah. I don't know, man. This is not. We're going to see how this goes. I'm real curious as to see how it all works, how it all shakes out.
Yeah,
the titles that are available, and just how it is.
Yeah,
that's I may not go to that streaming tier and everything that $120 one, but I might bump it up to the other one to have access to those 400. Ever how many games that come in and out, that sort of thing, which is massive, by the way. We should look at that and say Game Pass only offers you around 200, I think, extra games to play. Now, I could be wrong, and Lethal Migraine's in the chat, and will definitely let me know if I am. Okay. But and it's also got access to the PC, but if you strictly look at the console side, because that's what we're trying to compare, if this shakes out the way that they're promoting it, that's a leg up over Xbox and what they offer.
Simply in titles alone?
In titles alone.
Yeah.
Now, there's the aspect of, yes, well, with the Xbox, though, you get titles that get released the day of. You know, you're going to get access to the next Halo game or the next Gears of War or the next whatever they've got. And then even some that aren't even first party. Of course, then again, you got to look at all the studios that they own.
Yeah.
You're getting those when they get released.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Yeah, Thor66 said in the chat room it's like $300 for Game Pass.
$300 a year? No. Console games is $453? Are you kidding me? I had no idea. 407? No. I have 417 games to pick from on PC if I do PC Game Pass. Or are you saying that, no, that couldn't be right. I don't know. Oh, he says more like 300, I think. 300 games. I got you. Yeah. I don't know. What that does, it puts it a little bit on par then, regardless, even if it's not the same amount. Having 400, having 300, or 400 and 450, whatever the case may be, they're still in that range. Especially if all you have is a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And you don't have one of the other systems. That's not a bad deal to look at.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's something to look at, but I'm thinking of file management if I'm having that many games to download from. But it's right what Nabokov fan was saying. If you got like all those games available, but only have like very few, I don't want to pick from. Besides, with my backlog the way it is right now, I've already got plenty of that I can.
You'd be surprised.
Look at right now.
I mean, I go through the Game Pass offerings.
Yeah.
From time to time, at least once a month, at least to see what's new and what's what have they added, and is there anything that's interesting, and I'll come across some stuff and say, what is that? I'll watch a trailer of it real quick and be like, okay, we'll download that. Will I ever start playing it? I don't know, but I'll download it and have it ready to go and take a look at it.
But my concern is like going down the list and seeing, okay, I've got that one.
Yeah,
I got that one too.
But
and then
you've got it on disc, I would imagine.
On
right?
disc, yeah.
You know what?
I've got some. I've got
some
most I've got on disc. Most I got on PS Plus. There are titles on PS Plus now. It was like, when did I get this? I don't recall getting this. Oh, it was probably just something I got for PS Plus and just downloaded it on there. Well, put it in the library.
Yeah.
It's in there, available
That's
for
the thing.
download, but not.
I don't mind
yet.
expanding my backlog. Yeah. Most of the times I have to do that because I have to attach the game to my account. And so the backlog grows because of that. But it's just like we do. These free games only are here for the month that they're available. And if you can get them and add them to your account, they're going to be there for as long as you're subscribed.
Yeah.
But after that month goes, if you didn't get them, you missed out. You need to go and download them, attach them to your account or whatever.
Yeah. I see in the chat, Bama Brian, he puts it up there perfectly. Says, I downloaded 5 new games since getting Starlink, but what do I keep playing? Plants vs. Zombies. It's like you with Destiny, me with Elden Ring or whatever I'm playing at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and what does it say? Occasional... And
occasionally.
And occasionally must be what it says. Still going to spend time playing Civ and Counter-Strike Source. Yeah, I need to go back through the Xbox and look through that stuff and just see what's there.
Yeah.
That's on Game Pass and whatever. It doesn't, again, it's not a situation where I feel like, oh no, my backlog is getting bigger. I know that I'm never going to get back to my backlog. Or when I do, it'll just be at these random moments,
Yeah.
Oh, City of Heroes. He's playing City of Heroes.
Put it this way. I own the game on PS. I think it's on 3 or 2. I don't know. Remember Wet?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've gotten further along in that game than I have, and that was my copy you were playing.
Yeah. If they could add Wet to that, I'll be down. Wait, who developed that? That was by...
I want to say Bethesda.
Bethesda?
I want to say Bethesda.
Then it should be on Game Pass, right?
Maybe.
I thought it was Bethesda. It's probably published by somebody else, though.
Yeah. Wit. Behavior Interactive, publisher Bethesda Softworks, yeah.
Wait, who is the publisher?
Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda was the publisher.
Bethesda Softworks. Developer was Behavior Interactive.
Huh. I'm surprised
on
it's not...
On PS3 and Xbox 360. Action game, third-person shooter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was basically the stylized Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino type film, yeah.
I'm surprised that it's not available on Game Pass since it is Bethesda. Yeah, that surprises me.
Came out in 2009, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at a break here, and we're going to take that break. When we come back, we'll talk about no E3 this year, which really isn't much to talk about other than tell you there's no E3 this year. There's more that you could look at as far as this whole Sony thing with what they're doing. A lot of people are going to compare it to Microsoft's Game Pass. I think that's
Of course they are. Yeah.
I think that's an apt comparison.
Yeah.
I really do. They may say otherwise, and they being Sony may say, "Oh, we're not trying to compete."
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
You really, really are.
Yeah.
Publicly and on paper and everything else, you'll say no, but you're really, really looking at like, hey, this Game Pass thing's taken off. Why don't we do something like this?
Yeah.
Well, we have PS Now. It ain't working. Well, let's combine the two, or let's do. I don't know, man, but they're getting there.
Yeah,
and I imagine it'll change.
Yeah. But the way Game Pass came out and what it offered and the price and everything and the way the rave reviews it was getting and people, the things it was giving the gamers, you have to compete with that. You got to do something to respond, and that's what Sony's doing.
I think Sony should have jumped on it sooner, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about E3, and we'll go over there was a lot of news, but we're really hitting the big points here, which were the subscription services. We haven't even gotten to the GTA subscription service.
Yeah, the one that no one likes.
Exactly. Music here from Ghostwire Tokyo. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Kirby and Forgotten Lands or whatever. The new Kirby game that came out.
Is that the one where he eats a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Like, apparently he used to eat whatever he was, he could eat something and then gain, like, its powers or something
he went
like
Mega
that.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, except now there are certain things he can't eat, but he can still get them in his mouth. Like the car.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually eat the car, but he
takes the shape of it.
Eats it enough to have the shape and be able to drive it around. Or a vending machine was another one. Or like this really long log, which would help him to roll. It's just,
He's already a ball. He can roll already.
I get it. I know. But with the weight that he has, he can
crush
other
things
enemies.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, come on. It's
Kirby's still a destructive force of nature. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's Kirby. I've actually never played a Kirby game.
Yeah, but you know what it's all about, though.
I do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I've never actually played a Kirby game. And this one looks like one. It's like, that would be one I could play
Yeah.
again. But the thing is, it's Nintendo first party, which means it'll never go on sale. Or if it does, they'll call it a sale and it's $5 off. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And,
Technically a sale, but
it's been out for 3 years. Yeah, we know it's a sale. $5 off. Yeah. No, it's not how it works in Nintendo.
Yeah.
There's a company who could stand to do a subscription service with a lot more games. I realize they have a subscription service for online, and they throw in these games, but compared to what your library is for your Super Nintendo, your N64, your NES, your GameCube, you are giving us nothing in comparison to what you have.
I think about all that stuff that's been emulated to heck and back.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We wouldn't emulate it if you gave it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being facetious. Yeah, people totally would. Emulation and Elden Ring horsing is gonna be is always going to be around, and there's going to be people doing it. So yeah exactly. Let's see. Make sure, are we still broadcasting? I'm sure we are. Sorry, I had something pop up on a Windows update thing pop up on the screen there. Yes, we are still broadcasting. Good. Anyway, where were we going? E3. This was odd because they did not skip. E3 was held last year, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it was canceled the year of the pandemic, so it was canceled in 2020. In 2021, kind of came back in a weird little way, and then in 2022, like, outright, nope, not doing it. E3 won't happen at all this summer, the Entertainment and Software Association said. It confirms what some observers anticipated would happen. For 2022, event organizers with the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA, didn't plan on hosting an in-person event, citing health concerns from the Omicron variant back in January, though the organization's statement at the time never explicitly stated a digital event would happen this year. This is a quote, we previously announced that E3 would not be held in person in 2022 due to the ongoing health risks surrounding COVID-19. Today, we announced that there will also be no digital E3 showcase in 2022. Instead, we will devote all our energy and resources to delivering a revitalized physical and digital E3 experience next summer. Just let it die. Just let it go away. We don't need it. People had been saying that, and I mean, I am beating the deadest of horses right now. I have dug him up. I've beaten him. I put him back in the ground, dug him back up, put him in a pit, lit him on fire, put him in the ground, and I am still throwing dirt on. It's just because this is just the same old story. We were talking about it before the pandemic. Before we even knew there would ever be a pandemic, we talked about, hey, they should really rework E3. They should really figure out a different way to do this. Nintendo knew what to do. They paved the way for that, I believe. And others started saying, well, Nintendo got away with it. Of course, Nintendo is Nintendo. I get that. But you just don't need it. You don't need those fees that you have to pay for floor space. You don't need whatever it is, all the other stuff that you have to do. You just don't need it. If you want to put your game into the hands of people to play them, release demos, put it out there. That's all you have to do. Essentially, you're letting...
My goodness, when's the last time I've seen a good demo?
For me, last time I played a good demo, the only one that sticks out in my head is, and that wasn't even a demo, it was a beta. And that's the Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the 360. Yeah. And that was something that's, oh God, I played that beta test so many hours. Excuse me. That's the best I can think of. Yeah. There's probably another one, but
I think the thing I was saying about demos was that it's been few and far between for me seeing demos that were available to actually play and see what you got.
Yeah,
so far to get my interest in that.
They do that though, and they did that. I think they've done that Xbox has done it a few times. And I know you don't have an Xbox Series X, or you don't have the gold membership or whatever the thing is. But Xbox has done, especially the independent ID at Xbox type stuff, or any of the independent things, whenever they do a big reveal or a big E3 thing or a big just, here's an Xbox showcase or something like that, usually you'll have some demos that are out there. Or they'll just do this, AC Wraith, Steam's Next Fest. Oh, that's a lot. I can screw things up real bad with my voice, with my talking. Steam Next Fest has had some great demos. That's, looking at, here's some indie developers, some this one dude made this game, and here, go play it. You can download this one little level and play that if you would like to. And if you like it, you can buy it if you want to. The early access stuff, things like that. Last summer the Xbox had a lot of games. He says 60. I think it was around that number or higher. That had just a ton of games. I remember sitting down with Wendy after that, and I was like, "Ooh, let's look at these," because they were all demos. Okay. And I said, "That looks interesting. Download. That looks interesting. That looks what a game called Lake, where you just drive around a lake delivering mail." That was one of them, and I downloaded the demo, and I said, "This sucks. I don't want to play this." It was interesting, and I was like, "What is this?"
But you gave it a shot. You gave it an honest shot, so yeah.
I thought it would be relaxing and nice. No, it was boring. And I was just like, is this really what this is? But you know what? There is probably a massive fan of that game somewhere. Probably many massive fans of that game somewhere. And that's fine. It found its audience because it released a demo and people liked it. I say that. I have no idea how successful it was. But yeah, there's just a ton of demos. And that's the thing. You can get your games into the hands of the players by doing this, releasing these demos. You don't need E3 to do that. And understand, when we're talking about E3, we're not talking about, and I say this all the time, we're not talking about, Microsoft doing their press conference or Sony doing a press or anything like that. We're talking about the 3 days of on-hand gameplay in the LA Convention Center. You don't see it other than in videos when people are interviewing a developer or something like that. But there's all these kiosks set up. You go around, you schedule appointments, you play your games. You sometimes get to talk to a developer, and then that's it. It's just not needed.
Yeah.
I remember taking notes on things, and then I would come back and say, okay, now I need to write this up. By the time I had gotten back, they had already released the video that I had seen. Here's your 20-minute presentation that was shown at E3 for Just Cause 2 or 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't need to write anything about this because I didn't get any hands-on time with it. I just watched the same thing that they did. So there's the video. Go watch it. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So
you were at an E3 and was like, I could have stayed home.
Well, it was more about that. It was more a sense of I didn't have to schedule this to see this.
Yeah.
I could have just waited. I didn't have to sit there and take all these notes and get something prepared. Could have just waited and had other people see it. That's the thing. The point of anybody being at E3 is to come back with the impressions of what they saw, what they played, because you couldn't go. But if you bring it home to us with demos, with these presentations that are behind closed doors, if you don't close it off and just show it, do that. Why not? I never understood why we would have closed door reveals and stuff. I say that, but I remember seeing Bioshock Infinite behind closed doors. And they did eventually show off what we saw behind those closed doors, but the game changed in between release and what we saw.
Okay, yeah.
But not only that, what we saw was supposed to be somebody playing it, but I was like, you're watching him go through this thing and getting shot. His health would go down, but there was a certain point where his health would stop going down, where he would never die. And I completely understand that they put that in there for the presentation aspect of it, but I don't even believe anybody was back there playing the game. I think it was a video they shot, and then they're showing it for us. But that's the thing. If you don't, I don't know. It's not needed anymore. There's better ways for companies to get their games seen by people for one, played by people for another. And the way it's being done now is not a thing. Plus, now they charge for you to go to E3, I think, which you have to, if you want to see it, they let the public in, but you got to pay a price. I wouldn't have done that, PAX, sure.
Because Because that's a convention, right?
Yeah, it's a whole convention thing. You're going
convention,
to get speakers. You're going to get all this stuff. You're going to have sections where you can go and play at night and concerts and all these other things that are going on. Tournaments happening. None of that at E3. You know, I don't know. It's long been dead to me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to exist, and it didn't need to exist when Nintendo paved that way. Everybody else should have followed and just said, "Oh, it works." We don't need this anymore. Now, maybe they were under contract. I don't know how E3 works. Mm-hmm. I don't know if some of these companies sign contracts to saying, okay, we agree to show up for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. You know, because I know that's how they get the building, the LA Convention Center.
Yeah.
That's how they got the building, was like, hey, if you want it, you need to sign this contract for 5 years or ever how many years it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to be there under contract if you breach this and don't pay us for the time you're going to be there, regardless if you hold anything in the space, then, you know, you've broken the contract and it's going to cost you more. Mm-hmm. Which makes me wonder about ESA. Now, I don't know if there was COVID. I'm sure there were some, you know, rules bent because of COVID and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily know that it applies for this year. A lot of things have started to get back into a regular type thing, and so I'm not sure that it applied this year. Regardless, my whole point of this is being that sure, try one next year, but you're only giving fuel to what they can do without you by skipping it this year. Mm-hmm. The more you show, not just the public, but at least these companies who are either paying to be featured in E3.
Yeah.
The more you give them the opportunity to do it without you, the more they realize they don't need you to do it. Mm-hmm. We had that with the pandemic before. We had it somewhat last year, and we'll get it again this year.
Yeah.
So, and Lethal Migraine looked it up. Lake on Steam has 1,302 very positive reviews. I don't know who's playing that game. It just looked boring to me. Unless there is some sort of big reveal that if you play it for like an hour, then things change and it becomes this amazing thing. I don't know. But yeah. I remember Tuesday is the State of Unreal Engine. Epic is going to talk about Unreal Engine 5 again. Yep, I get that. So yeah, we'll be there for that as well. We've hit the end of the road here. And we are likely going to use a lot of stuff we didn't get to next week because there was just a lot, because we didn't even get into GTA.
Yeah.
And what is that? A GTA subscription? You want to hit that real quick just to kind of get the overview of it? GTA Plus is a monthly subscription for GTA Online.
Yeah.
$6 a month.
Yeah.
What do you get with that? Do you know?
It's basically like 500,000 in-game currency every month delivered to your Maze bank account, which is like an insult because you were getting a million a month before the game even came out. The problem is that much money doesn't get you much of anything. You're going to burn through that quick because the game is like you got to spend money to make money, and you got to grind for the cash in this game.
What else do you get?
Maybe some vehicles, some paint jobs, things like that. Auto shop that you normally have to buy your businesses to make money off of. So they give it to you for free, but you still got to invest money in the thing.
You do, yeah.
To get the thing up and running right.
Current auto shop owners can relocate to La Mesa at no additional cost.
I mean, it doesn't matter where you get your car from. I mean, it's an auto shop. So you just buy your cars, buy your equipment, fix the car, and send it out there.
They will waive the car meet membership fees.
The LS car meet. This is kind of like the opening intro to like the Fast and Furious part of the game. It's $50,000 to get in there to have a membership. Now they just waive it. 50,000 is nothing in the game.
You'll get reimbursed the $50,000 during the event period, and $50,000 in-game currency, I should say.
Yeah.
This is not Chris buying Laserdiscs. Yacht owners can upgrade to the Aquarius Super Yacht at no additional cost. A selection of free paints and emblems for the auto shop. 3 times GTA, what is that, money? GTA?
3 times GTA currency and rep points for HAL's Special Works Race Series. Basically, they do this for things that no one's doing. Usually when no one's doing an activity, they'll try to get you to go in there by making it double money or triple money. triple money, especially for something that no one's doing.
Subscribers will need to claim these rewards from their various vendors each month or risk losing them. Every month, Rockstar will reveal a new list of items coming to GTA Plus, similar to the one above. Note that GTA Plus is a recurring subscription, so once you sign up, you'll be billed the $6 monthly cost automatically until you cancel, which they say you can do at any time. Usually they make that very difficult. The publisher also assured players that the online membership is an addition to GTA Online's usual events, which will remain accessible to all players.
My first impression of this, none of this is really necessary. It's just it's you can grind and get all this stuff really yourself, but it takes time. But the thing about GTA, it's notorious for having making a grind so tedious and difficult.
Yeah.
And especially having griefers out there who don't get any reprimand for blowing up your stuff.
Yeah.
They make the game they make the grind so tedious that you might get frustrated and pick up a shark card, which is where they've been getting their money for the most part. But I'm guessing with this coming out, shark cards have been been purchased less and less over the years. So they're making a subscription service to counteract that. But for $6 a month, I'm looking at this here. It ain't worth it to me. My initial response is not worth it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because I don't do the online thing.
Yeah.
RJ does, and he gives it a thumbs down. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. I appreciate everybody joining us. Chris, thanks again for the stand, the woodworking, and coming in and showing us your collection there, or your awesome new item you got. Thank you as well, RJ, for coming in.
Well,
Thanks everybody for who's in the chat room. I can do a real quick roll call, I think, maybe. AB Jewel, Lacey Wraith, Bama Bryan, Big Damn Judge, Commander Roots, Drug Degenerates, Evans 04111, Feet, F-To Payer, maybe. It's Me Mama, Lethal Migraine, Nabokov Fan, and Stephen Van Dam. Thank you guys so much. Music here from, it's really loud, Pollo Tetris, maybe? Pollo Tetris?
Puyo Tetris, yeah.
The Chaos Mix difficulty thing here. Have a great one. We will see you next Saturday.